America great again.
What kind of a country do we want to have?
I think climate change is real.
I think we need to be able to have that policy debate.
Large technology companies like Google, Amazon, Twitter, and Meta maintain tight control on the digital marketplace, allowing them to control both what is sold and whose viewpoints are most prominent. Some Republicans have alleged these companies have discriminated against conservatives, and Congress needs to remove Section 230, a crucial part of communications law protecting websites from being held accountable for what users post to them. Here's where leading presidential candidates stand concerning big tech and conservative censorship.
These companies have been co-opted, coerced, and weaponized by government and by government actors to become the enforcers of illegal, unconstitutional censorship. And that's what it is at the highest level.
Trump has been a critic of Section 230 for several years, claiming it protects big tech unnecessarily. He calls for the law to be repealed and signed an executive order during his first term in May 2020 to revoke some of the protections from the law, only for the law to be challenged in court. Trump has also advocated for the United States to hold big tech companies responsible for their conduct. Governor Ron DeSantis' career has been marked by a push for culture war conflicts. DeSantis pushed a fairly wide-ranging tech agenda for his state when he signed into law a digital Bill of Rights.
It includes biometric data and geolocation information to the adding that to the definition of personal data.
The bill requires Google and other search engines to disclose if search results are prioritized based on political or monetary incentives. The Digital Bill of Rights also barred government employees from coordinating with big tech companies on regulating speech. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley spoke out in June 2020 about the censorship of conservatives on big tech, claiming it violates the spirit of the law and the First Amendment. She also argued more regulation would go too far in the other direction. Either way, free speech loses. Haley also opposed the censoring of Trump after Twitter removed him from the platform after the January 6 riots, writing, "Silencing people, not to mention the President of the United States, is what happens in China, not our country."
These arbiters of so-called truth have been wrong so many times over the course of the last year that actually one of the greatest impediments to the pursuit of truth has actually been these social media giants themselves.
Vivek Ramaswamy has regularly slammed big tech companies, claiming they're woke and a threat to the United States.
Now, if you say the government on top of that is using social media companies to do through the back door what government could not censor through the front door under the Constitution, that creates the real threat to lowercase d democracy. My litmus test is if Vladimir Putin was doing it and we would call it a threat to democracy, it's a threat to democracy when we do it on this side of the Atlantic as well.
Ramaswamy was also vocally critical of how antitrust law works today. He has requested lawmakers take action against big tech.
The real problem, Stuart, is the ideological cartel, where all of these guys adhere to the same ideology and are using their market power to enforce that ideology down our throats.
The tech entrepreneur argues Facebook and Google should be treated as state actors due to their acting in interests of the federal government.
The government, on one hand, sends these implicit threats to say that we want you to take down hate speech or misinformation that we, the party in power, don't want to see online. Big tech goes out and does it. But implicitly, they get their friends in the Democratic Party to kind of look the other way when it comes to leaving their monopoly power intact.